Hello, my name is Jason. I am a gardening tutor at Ruskin Mill College, and I'm back again for another biodynamic calendar video looking at the month ahead. We've arrived into October. The days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer, and it's going to be a very busy month ahead in the garden as we clear vegetable beds where we've taken the harvest, where we sow cover crops. We'll be applying cow manure, and it's also a very important time for making preparations, but also for applying preparations such as preparation 500. So in this video I'm going to give you an overview of the lunar and planetary rhythms, and it'll give you some ideas and some indications of when you can do certain things in the garden, ideally in line with biodynamic principles. So we begin the month with the moon ascending in its sidereal rhythm, and we also begin the month with the moon waxing in its synodic rhythm. So that means we're getting close to the full moon, which occurs on Tuesday the 7th of October, and it's also going to be a supermoon, as the day after full moon is when it's perigee, and that's when the moon is closest to the Earth. So it's the day after when it's perigee, but it's still going to be quite a big moon as it's so close to the Earth. So we have this month's full moon in the constellation of Pisces, which brings a lot of water forces into the day. And then also in November we have a supermoon as well, and also in December. So there's going to be supermoons each month when it's going to be really bright and appear really large in the sky. This month we might be spending a lot of time clearing vegetable beds, and it's a really important time to sow cover crops such as phacelia or broad beans, which will help restore the vitality in the soil. It's very important to keep the soil covered when we can. And it's also a good time to apply composts, because this gives it time. If you apply it now in October, it gives it time to really integrate into the soil, especially before the winter, when Steiner said especially during between January and February is when the earth is most inwardly alive. So we really should be applying the manure this time of year. It's much better than applying it later in the year or in the springtime. And with that, it's also a very good time to apply cow horn manure 500. So this will also help restore the vitality in the soil. And if we're looking at good dates to do that, then Tuesday the 14th of October is a good time. And then if we can't do it on Tuesday the 14th, then we have 3 days when the moon is in the constellation of Virgo, and the moon is also descending. So that's Sunday the 19th of October, Monday the 20th of October, and Tuesday the 21st of October. So really keep those dates in mind for an opportunity to apply 500. It's quite important. And we also have the new moon on the 21st of October, Tuesday the 21st of October. And the new moon is all about new beginnings, and that might be a very auspicious time to also apply 500. So that's Tuesday the 21st of October for 500, which is it's stirred in the afternoon when the earth is breathing in. And you can buy the preparations from the Biodynamic Association in Stroud, and then once you've got them, all you need to do is stir the 500 in a barrel for 1 hour, and then you just need a bucket and a brush, and then you go around your garden applying the preparation to the soil. it's important to just say that this cow manure has spent the winter inside of a cow horn for 3 months, and then it's buried, and then it's taken out, and the process of it being within the cow horn, there is a transformation that happens, and there's also a big increase in the microbiome in the cow manure, and there's lots of beneficial bacteria that you can then stir and apply to the land, and it helps with the vitality of the soil. Onions and garlic can be planted this month, ideally on a root day when the moon is descending. We actually have a trine on Tuesday the 14th of October, and that's an earthly trine, and it's because Venus in Virgo meets Uranus in Taurus 120 degrees apart from each other, and this overrules whatever constellation that the moon is in, unless the moon's also in an earthly constellation. Then it creates like an even more beneficial day to tend to root vegetables. But yeah, on Tuesday the 14th of October we have that trine, and there's also a second trine in the day when Venus also creates a trine with Pluto, and that's because Venus is very close to the Sun, so it's moving quite quickly through the constellation of Virgo and then meeting other planets. On Thursday the 9th of October, the moon is in the constellation of Aries as it ascends, and so Aries is a fire sign, and therefore corresponds to fruiting plants in biodynamics. So that's a good opportunity to harvest tomatoes, any remaining beans, any squashes. So yeah, that's a good opportunity. And then the next ideal opportunity is on the 27th of October, when the moon is ascending in the constellation of Sagittarius, which is also a fire sign. But it's very important to know that this calendar is just it's very idealistic, and you might find that waiting for those dates doesn't work for you, and you have to work around them. In my job as a tutor in the garden with people, working with individuals with learning differences, it can be very hard to follow the calendar every day, but I try to, when I can. It's really nice to being aware of where the moon is in the sky, what constellation is it in, and where the planets are. The transplanting window for this month is from Sunday the 12th of October until the 26th of October, also a Sunday, and that's when the moon is descending, and that is the best time to be transplanting crops out into the garden, because it helps with the development of the roots. So if we're looking at growing hardy leafy greens, such as kale, lettuce, mustard greens, mizuna, then the best days to do that are on Wednesday the 15th of October with the moon descending in Cancer, or on Saturday 25th with the moon descending in Scorpio, which continues until the next day on Sunday the 26th until 1 o'clock. So that is the best time, because it's very nice to have leafy greens growing through the winter that you can still harvest, ideally in a greenhouse or a polytunnel. That means you can have some fresh salads through the winter. I hope this video has been useful to you, and I hope you have a lovely October, and I'll see you again in November. Thank you.